we'll do our VS Code hint tip trick of the week. And so basically the next one we're going to do, I thought we'd covered this, but I guess we haven't. So in VS Code, we have a BoxLang extension, and it supports BoxLang, but also CFML functionality. So it's a new and improved version of the VS Code extension. It's got built-in BoxLang runtime for easy development, but it also gives you tooling to run the debugger, and web server can be launched from VS Code. You can execute BXS files or BX files that have a main method, and it supports syntax highlighting, language server integration as alpha. But again, a lot of the stuff works for Cold Fusion too. So it's really cool to be able to do the step debugger, like all those things that everyone has in other languages. We're actually using more and more inside of this, and Jacob Beers has been the one leading the way inside of Ortus working on this, and he's done a bunch of cool stuff. And so he's done
I
a
think
presentation
tooling is super important, right? Like, I mean, tooling helps BoxLang to be taken more seriously in other communities. And I think also like Adobe has recently updated their tooling. Their CF Builder Visual Studio Code plugin got like a new version just recently, and they've done a lot of improvements on that as well. And I think it's good that people realize that, because tooling is what gets you to developers and what helps us, almost catch up, with modern technologies from like a tooling and convenience point of view.
Yeah, for sure. There's so much ease in your developer, like the DX developer experience makes a big difference. And and there's a lot of things in here, and of course I've got tons of ideas for things that could do better too, as far as like, hey, can I follow my wirebox expansion, so my injection, so I can go find the file from there. Because there's a lot of things you can click through and follow through, and being able to look at the API documentation from your Swagger stuff directly in there, and all sorts of cool stuff. And we're adding mappings and everything that are usually runtime mappings can be put in there, so your mappings will expand, and just a lot of cool stuff. But the debugger is really slick, and I know Jacob's done a few videos on that. There's some on CFcast, but there's also I believe some up on YouTube as part of the keynote and everything else too. So, and I think he's really released a new version any day now. So we're testing it right now before we release the new version. So by the time you go check this out, there might even be a new one there. So, but yeah, and again, it works with your Cold Fusion code too. So we're not just trying to say use BoxLang. It's a big improvement on the CFML stuff as well. That was our VS Code hint, tip, and trick of the week. Brought to you by Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition, proudly sponsored by Order Solutions. You can see the new episodes every week on cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io or on the Order Solutions